Going, guys? This is the MAFEX Mando at the Brick City Blockade with your buddy. This is Robin. How's it going, Robin?
Hey, MAFEX Mando, Jared Chilson. What's up, my friend?
Oh man, rocking it over here in California, digging the sunny weather. How's the weather over there, buddy?
We've had it nice and warm here on the East Coast. We need a little bit of rain, though. That's the problem, is that we get this nice sunny weather, and then suddenly it's like, okay, I don't know. We need some liquid falling from the sky at some point just to kind of keep the proper vibes rolling in terms of the summer season. But I don't know,
Well,
man. We got a lot to talk
you're
about.
waiting for rain because you know it's about to start raining Star Wars action figures, my friend.
That's right. We got a lot to talk about on this. I don't know. There's a lot of different kind of things we've seen leaked and stuff here.
Oh yeah, lots of leaks. But I am. I just want to tell you that I am extremely excited. I want to tell you what things I'm excited about, and we're going to run down the few things that I have highlighted for things that I'm particularly excited about. I don't really have a Funko Pop list in front of me, but yeah, we could talk about that another time. But right now, I just have a Hasbro's list and things that I'm really excited about, and then we could probably also talk about what maybe Bandai might come out with. Hopefully, because me and the Jedi Scavenger are huge into that, and so why don't we just kick it off? What I'm mostly excited about is one is the 6-inch Black Series figures. Now, I am a huge collector of these. I am incredibly deep into this, and I am really excited about the new 6-inch scale vehicles like Rey's Speeder that was shown at a convention, at Star Wars convention, which it just looks absolutely gorgeous and stunning. And hopefully that makes the September street date, because there's no actual leaks of Black Series at this moment. I mean, just last night we had 4 pictures of Black Series figures, and that was it. And what is this? This is Sunday, the 13th, and we have a little less than a month till go time, till Force Friday 2, my friend. So what are you thinking about picking up?
There's just so much different stuff. I got to think of the true stuff, the Toys R Us stuff, because I know we'll be checking that out, all the different stuff on Force Friday Eve. But one thing, and everybody knows this at the network, I've talked about it on multiple occasions. I love the Praetorian Guards. I love the look of them. And I think that they're going to be a cool little pickup in terms of something new that we really haven't seen maybe since they did some of the earlier Royal Guard stuff. I'm talking about like the Power of the Force stuff, so those really nice little bits of tones to them. That's my go-to. Other than Porgs, that's my go-to.
Oh, you said the magic word. That's the word of the day right there. Porgs. Porgs. Oh my God. If you saw the leaks of the interactive Porgs, be excited about that. That looks like it's going to be awesome. There is no information regarding of what it is or what it's going to do, but oh my God, I need one.
Yeah, I mean, they're so fluffy. They're going to be moving around. I mean, I'm already planning on carrying that thing around Granite State Comic-Con here in the Northeast and just having a Star Wars discussion about having one of those in my hand.
Right. Yeah, it is. I do have to agree that the Praetorian Guards are going to be completely awesome. And that is one of the speculated GameStop exclusives that is going to hit Force Friday. Because a few months back, there was a leaked list of GameStop exclusives, and one of them was Elite Guards 4-pack from GameStop. And it said the code word was Victor's Elite Guards or something like that. And so we've, in the Black Series and the Star Wars community, have deducted what Victor is, and we assume Victor is Snoke. And so the Elite Guards is apparently what they're most likely going to be, the bright red guys with the many different weapons. So the cool thing about the 4-pack, it's not going to be 4 completely same guys. If you take a look at the pictures that were leaked, or not leaked, but were presented at on the Entertainment Weekly, we see different armor, we see different weapons, we see different helmets. So I think all four of these guys are going to be completely different kind of martial arts style. So I'm really excited about seeing these guys as well because they could be Donnie Yen times four, you know, and that is going to be incredible. I am super excited about that. So I'm with you on that one, buddy. That one's going to be cool.
Yeah, there's so many different levels to I feel this Force Friday that we haven't seen before. There's a much grittier tone to the figures that are coming out, and it's kind of cool to see that because, of course, with Rogue One and the Force Awakens specifically, I think we had a pretty good idea of necessarily who was coming out. When we walked in there on those Force Fridays, we kind of already got a little bit of a tease in the trailers, but we haven't really had much heading into The Last Jedi other than what's come out in Entertainment Weekly recently. So it's going to be cool to see that transfer into Force Friday at midnight when we get to see these freaking figures. I'm so excited.
Exactly. And so, with that, well, I hope that Lucasfilm maybe gives us a little taste of something that might be happening. Because I remember in the past couple of years, right before Force Friday, different news outlets, give you a preview of what's going on. Maybe it'll be the week of, maybe it'll be 2 weeks before, but I'm pretty sure they will give us something. So I'm really excited to see some high res pictures, some really cool stuff that'll be coming around. But yeah, let's talk about what's happening in the first wave of the 5 POA. All right, so we have Rey in Jedi training, Poe Dameron, Kylo Ren, Finn, First Order Stormtrooper, Luke Skywalker, and I think that's the first wave. And then the second wave is a little debatable on when it'll be available. But there's going to be General Hux, Rose, Paige, Chewbacca, C-3PO, not Obi-Wan, excuse me, and I think that might be it. Yeah, I think that'll be it for the second wave. I think that's what we've been seeing on eBay and the leaks. So, good assortment, right? I mean, such a good staple assortment of characters. You got just enough villains because you could definitely army build the First Order Stormtroopers and still be incredibly have the feeling of being complete with a good army, because you'll have lots of good guys definitely, and then you'll have the baddest man of them all, Kylo Ren. So that'll be completely awesome. And to have that Rey figure in her Jedi training will be really cool. And then the one that absolutely everybody's waiting for is Luke Skywalker. What do you think about that Luke Skywalker?
The Luke Skywalker is the one that I definitely have on my radar, not just as somebody who likes to look at unique collectibles and stuff, or something that I know that's really going to play out cinematically in terms of the films, but just as, and I think it's because of Force Awakens, because we didn't see Luke that much except for at the very end. It's like, this has got to be Luke driven. This has got to be the figure that gets everything going. Luke is definitely my choice out of all these right now. Be very curious. You bring it up beautifully, Jared, that we don't know what's going to happen in that second wave necessarily. We don't know what these figures are really going to be quality-wise. We don't know. It's going to be hard to really tell until you see the film. That's usually what happens with these second waves, is that people don't really look into them until they've seen the film, and it's like, yeah, this kind of fits with what I want.
Right. And I think I agree with that, because it is very evident of that happening, because everybody got really excited about different characters in the past couple of Force Fridays or Rogue Fridays. Everybody was really excited about Cassian Andor, and then look, poor guy sitting at Target, for $3, him and Jin. Everybody was super excited about these characters, and I still am excited about these characters. I hope that they remake them in all their costumes throughout the entire universe, going on, because Star Wars toys will last the sands of time, and so I hope that we get every rendition of these characters. And then yeah, poor Jin is sitting at Target for $4.95 a pop. Some people are finding them for $3 at Target, and yeah, if you haven't picked them up, it is worth grabbing them, or at least clearing the space for new figures. If you don't have them, just grab them. They're great. You know, uh, I picked up 2 extra ones just recently, just so I could possibly, maybe one day I could just, customize a figure. Who knows? I just clear the space. Why not? You know, do your part.
Yeah, you're right. It's almost like if you want to see more, and to be honest with you, why a lot of these leaks have been coming out when it comes to the Last Jedi merchandise, from what I've seen from Toy Run, a lot of the different kind of things, is that there is cleared space. They are moving those Cassian and Jyn Erso figures, and they're just trying to make room. So by you going out and buying these off the clearance racks and getting them off the original Rogue Friday shelves and the Force Awakens shelves, you're making room for the Last Jedi stuff to come out even sooner. Because as we know, when it comes to these stores, Jared, there are certain employees that really don't follow the rules,
Right.
obviously, and they end up putting out the stuff earlier, and we get to preview it before it even comes out on Force Friday. So do your part, Star Wars fans.
Do your part, Star Wars fans, and clear those shelves so we could see some extra stuff. I cannot wait. So the big leak that just happened in the past couple of days, and I think everybody's excited about this. It was Jake from Forlom and Tazakis and Chris B and so many other collectors have posted this to their Twitter accounts and also the Facebook Toy Run page. The BB-8 playset. That is something that is just going to blow everybody's mind because it comes with 3 figures. I think the pictures show 2 figures, but I think it's rumored to have 3 figures. So I think it's going to have the bad BB-8, but it's not pictured in any of the leaked pictures. So who knows? But it comes with a Praetorian Guard and an extremely tall Snoke. And so from the pictures of it, he is going to be at least 1 to 2 head lengths bigger than any other character in the Star Wars universe. What is your take on that?
The minute I saw that BB-8 playset, I was thrown back to like the early, and it was not necessarily like my connection to it necessarily, like things that I remember as a kid, but there was something that tapped into those early Hot Wheel sets that you bought, and you could get like the like BB-8 has no association with the dark side necessarily, but
Right.
it was like we're gonna make a big thing with a car, a Hot Wheels car, a container, but we're gonna put like trucks on the inside of it. It was really cool how they were able to kind of mix it up a little bit. This BB-8 playset is so cool. It is going to be great for your kids, for the parents out there, because not only do you get this awesome, like, yeah, it's a cool little BB-8, but there's a lot of different stuff in there. It looks like there's going to be a throne room for Snoke in there, which in a way on September 1st is going to be a little bit of a spoiler, I would think, for the movie in a way, but what we might see. But at the same time, you bring up the Supreme Leader Snoke.
Right.
Whether we're going to see a Black Series version of him at some point, probably, but somebody brought it up in Toy Run, which I thought was great. He's a die cast in this thing, which
Right.
is kind of unique for a big set like this. And then add the height to that. This is going to be a pretty cool set. And I don't know what the retail is, but I thought it was pretty high the last time I checked.
I think you're right. I think that the price tag is going to have a $200 price tag, which I hope I'm wrong, but man, that is some serious scratch. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. But yeah, to me, it calls back to the Micro Machine playsets that came out. Even recent, the small tiny ones, the R2D2s and those ones where you just, it's on a desk, it looks like something else, and then you pull it out and then you just open it and you are immersed into Star Wars world, and that is so awesome because what they were talking about on Toy Run is that to make it compact like that would be perfect for for kids that because I think Jake was talking about how his kids have the gigantic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle playset, and it's huge, it's bulky, it's a gigantic turtle. If you can't store it properly, then it's just out. It's just gigantic. So to make this BB-8 unit, hopefully somewhat compact, maybe it'll come with like a little carrying case so you could just hang it up on a wall, something like that. Something that would be completely awesome and very versatile for Star Wars collectors, and more importantly, the children that are playing with it. Easy cleanup, a couple of figures, and boom, you are going to Star Wars. You are in Star Wars, and I cannot wait to see what that does.
It's going to be really cool because I think that this playset has the possibility too of coming with specific figures and then come post Force Friday say, oh yeah, there's these other little figures that you can buy to go with it. You could have the disguised Finn and Rose. You could have so many different things that you could do with this. This playset could become what we kind of saw early on with the early Kenner stuff, going right back to Vintage Viewport, where you bought the figures to go with like the Ewok playset or with
Right.
the Millennium Falcon in a way. You could add different characters to those playsets. And I think it's such a great callback to that now that we're heading into this.
Exactly. And it adds collectability. That is what a lot of action figures are missing these days. It's the collectability. That's what I just watched the Galaxy of Toys. Is that it? The Galaxy of Toys?
Galaxy of Toys, yeah.
Yeah, and so they they created the whole collect them all concept, and so Hasbro's trying to do that with the build of weapons, with the build of figures, with Marvel. They do a good job with the Marvel line. Build a figure. How do you not want to complete that Hulk from Thor Ragnarok? How do you not want to complete Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy 2? I mean, I just want Mantis, but man, I gotta spend $80 to get her. It's ridiculous. So if they keep up with that, that is so awesome. So, but yeah, collectability is something that they have to, keep up with, and I think that they're going to do a really good job with this playset, and that is going to be so cool. So, let's see, let's continue because we have deluxe 2-packs. We're going to have Han Solo and Boba Fett that we just know of, and then Darth Maul and Qui-Gon is something that we have just on the radar, and we don't really know much about the 2-packs. We have deluxe packs with Rathtar and Balatik. That looks really cool. Probe Droid, Darth Vader, Wampa, and Luke Skywalker. I really like the idea that they're keeping up with the second in the series theme going on here. So that's pretty cool. Vehicles, we have A-Wings, we have the Canto Bite Police Speeder that wasn't 100% leaked, but just pictures came up and it looked really cool. The Resistance Ski Speeder with Poe, and then Kylo Ren's TIE Silencer looks incredibly awesome. And then we have a whole bunch of other things like the Force Link starter set with Kylo Ren that comes with it, and that's going to have a hefty price tag on it too. I think that's going to be like $30 as well. And then we could get into the creme de la creme, the 6-inch scale figures, which I'm really excited about. So the 4 that have finally leaked, I mean, I've been waiting, weeks for the leaks. And so we finally got pictures of them. So we have Finn in a First Order disguise, which looks really good, but the out of package picture that they have, kind of made the hat kind of weird. I think whoever was taking the picture was just like, oh, let's just top him with this. Don't even have to stick it on his head all the way. But because in the package looks really good, but out of the picture out of the package is looking a little weird. But I love Finn, so I'm going to have to grab him anyway. So, and then we have Rey is an obvious need, obviously, and so I think if I have to pick up anything on Force Friday, it's definitely going to be Rey. If Hera Syndulla doesn't come out, because we haven't seen the leaks of Hera Syndulla, and so that's just Hera and Thrawn are just on the back burner, so we don't even know if they're coming out. So and then we have Kylo Ren, looks really good, updated face sculpt, new costume, looks really cool. And then who else? 1, 2, 3. Who am I missing? We are expecting to see. Give me a quick second. Oh yeah, Jedi Master Luke, of course. Who can forget Jedi Master Luke? And then he will be at least number 2 on my to get list. And since I was fortunate enough to get the 2-pack from San Diego Comic-Con, I could put these ones on hold, but I am extremely excited about Hera. So that is going to be completely, my go-to. So what do you think?
Oh man, it's so tough with these because there's so different many figures to choose from on this one. I definitely the Luke one because I was not able to get the San Diego Comic Con exclusive 2-pack, so I'm really looking forward to having Luke available in public on Force Friday so that I can pick that one up. You're right about Hera. Hera is the one for me because, of course, I have the Hera Funko Pop, but that's a character that I think they really haven't done much. I was expecting Hasbro to do the smaller figures at some point. I haven't seen that yet. So I think Hera would be a great one. And the one I'm really waiting on, I am really hoping is Grand Admiral Thrawn, because that is a character that I think that could go for not only a high price down the road, but for any Star Wars fan is probably essential, especially if you read the books and you watch Rebels. The pair of Hera and Thrawn together, if you could just build off of those and create a set from those, like build a whole scene from those two characters, would be just so awesome.
Yes, it would. And especially, it is unfortunate that they did not pack the Hera's heritage trophy or a little doll in with the single carded Thrawn, because that would have been completely awesome. But fortunately, I do have the San Diego Comic-Con edition, and that thing is way too cool. And you're right, because you could build off of those two characters by themselves, because they go so far back. They know each other, they know each other's history. It is two people meeting that is in all epicness. It's so cool. So I think you're right. Those two are go-tos, definitely.
And then if you add Hera, you gotta. I just thought about this. This is what's so great about our conversations, is that if you get a Thrawn and you get a Hera, you also have available the Sabine Wren and the Kanan Jarrus as well. You've almost got a full Star Wars Rebels Black Series set at that point.
Exactly. And so you're right. You got the Star Wars Rebels series going on, and then and if you also pick up a couple of Stormtroopers, you got yourself a full length 23-minute episode going on right in front of you. So that is super exciting. And so let's get to the exclusives for Black Series. So there was one that was leaked from Target, I think early last week, and that was the Tango Black Trooper from Target. So we will assume that they're talking about the Executioner Stormtrooper. So have you seen that picture?
Yeah, I saw that. That was on the Reddit page, which I probably shouldn't follow for anything because I'm worried I'm going to get truly spoiled with the film, but they've been focusing so much more on the collectibles specifically. So I saw the picture on there before it was taken off, actually. And that is quite an interesting trooper because there's so many different elements and paint applicants alone to that figure.
I know. So, any sort of paint difference in any trooper for me is always a go-to. I'm just a sucker for different troopers. I definitely love to army build. Like when Gree just came out, I needed Gree so bad, and he is supposedly one of the Toys R Us exclusives for this Force Friday as well. So I was lucky enough to get my Wanda Rock and Wanda Stock for when it went on for pre-order during San Diego Comic-Con. So I'm all set. So if I go to a midnight opening, I will just be going for the just to hang out, to just have fun and talk to a couple of Star Wars fans, and just get to know people. And then the other rumored 6-inch Black Series is the so when the Tango Black Target Trooper was leaked, there was another picture of Luke Skywalker with a piece of land. So we are thinking, now we're kind of jumping to conclusions because we don't know anything about it, but we are thinking that it is like Kmart's Jin and Rey and Kylo that came out in yesteryears. So it'll be Luke with a piece of land to go with it, plus a $10 markup on top of a $20 figure. So it'll be $30. So I'm not sure. This is good for one. It'll be plenty in stock. So if you don't see it on Force Friday, it will be there. Just like the 3-pack from last year, the Rogue One 3-pack, it should be plentiful. You shouldn't have any trouble trying to find this. And then let's see. So I think that one's going to be really cool to pick up. If you can't find the single carded, this one should be just as awesome. And then the other leaked exclusives, we have the Supreme Leader Snoke from GameStop. We're assuming because it's named Victor, but I don't want to jump to conclusions. And then, like I said earlier, we have the Victor's Elite Guards 4-pack. So those are going to be really cool. Very expensive because the 4-pack is going to be what, 80, 90 bucks from GameStop. Woo, man, that is a price tag. And then on top of those exclusives, we have the 6-inch scale vehicles, like I said earlier, the race speeder, and then the land speeder with Luke Skywalker, which is so awesome. I got mine from San Diego Comic-Con, and that thing is top notch. It is incredibly awesome. So I think that wraps it up with what we have going from Hasbro. So thoughts? What do you think?
That's interesting because the Praetorian Guards, there's something cool about them at the same time, but I don't know if they're cool enough to pay that much in a 4-pack.
Right.
That's the thing. Like, I think we'll definitely have, and Star Wars fans will definitely have their options when it comes specifically to the Praetorian Guards. They could probably build the guards themselves within a different scale through Black Series, through whatever other 2-packs they can find, and they can do it that way too. It's a cool option for sure. You're right about the Luke speeder. That thing is next level in so many different ways. I just love the look of it. And what a better time to, put out the Last Jedi stuff with Luke, but also go back to the roots of Luke Skywalker, the farm boy stuff, and put that out there for fans. Because then they can have the old Luke, then they can get their Return of the Jedi Luke, and then they can get old Master Luke at the same time.
Exactly.
For that. I know Brian Fontaine's going to be doing that for sure.
Exactly. And so I think Hasbro is, and they should. I seriously think they should, because the collectors are eating up, but they should milk the 40th anniversary until January. They should just keep going, because what's happening next year? We're going to have vintage collection, and that is going to be way too awesome. And we could talk about that later, but yeah, they should definitely milk the 40th collection for all it's worth, because it is awesome. And just to hit that sort of milestone for 40 years is just incredibly cool, because that means that Star Wars is older than me, is older than you, is older than most of our listeners. And so, to have a franchise that's that old and still going strong, and we're still excited to see more of it, is incredibly awesome. And so I am really excited.
There's just so many different things happening with the 40th anniversary. And of course, with The Last Jedi coming out and everything, there's no better time to be a Star Wars fan than now, when it specifically comes to Force Friday, going to the stores, experiencing it like we're going to be covering it from all across the country and across the world in some places. It'll be so cool to see the fans' reaction to it as well, because like you said, they got to keep milking the 40th anniversary stuff, because the 40th anniversary only comes around, well, only once. Then you get the 50th anniversary, and I'm sure we'll be back in these seats talking about that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, definitely. I cannot wait for that, because, the 50th is going to be something massive. And so, yeah, I really do think that we're going to be right back here. We're going to be talking about it, and it is going to be epic. It's going to be more epic than it was this year. I swear it will be, and I will be right there to enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure. There's just such a gravitas to everything happening in the universe right now. Such a gravitas to Star Wars. It's so awesome that we get to share this experience with the fans. They get to explore it on Force Fridays. That Force Fridays are such a great opportunity for fans to get out and talk with each other, talk about the Last Jedi, talk about collecting too. You get out there and you stand there at 10:30. Some of these fans, you got plenty of time to talk collecting with them and even get a podcast episode in. And it's really, really cool.
I definitely agree that it is about getting there, getting out there, rubbing shoulders, talking to people, enjoying each other's input, and definitely, uh, you know, making friends. That's all what Star Wars is all about. Family and friends. And keeping those close to your heart. And I am a firm believer in that, and that's why Star Wars is such a huge influence on me, and I absolutely love it because most of the people who I've come across, in the collecting community have, not only been, great friends, but they've been, great help in my personal life as well. And it is just incredibly awesome to meet people like this.
Yeah, and it's just going to keep continuing on. There's no stopping here. There's so much different stuff happening. Uh, Now, Jared, I know you're the MAFEX Mando guy, and we've also talked a lot about here on the network. You guys do all the collecting stuff, whether it's Jedi Scavenger, Vintage Viewport, or yourself. Very curious about the SH figure art stuff. Do
Right.
you see anything coming around the corner with the Last Jedi with those?
Well, I haven't officially seen anything at all yet, but the only thing that we have to go off of is pictures that are from over a year ago. So we saw, Han Solo, we saw FN 2187, we saw a Rey in her Resistance gear from a Tokyo Toy Show from last year. So that is something that we could just assume that they might give us because Bandai is so inconsistent with showing something and then making it available to us right away. I mean, look at how long and I mean they still don't even know if General Grievous is going to be coming out. I mean, it came out in model form, and I cannot wait till I paint that and make it because I haven't even received it yet. But I cannot wait to have that in my hands because he's such an awesome character. But in terms of that, you probably can assume that they're going to come out with at least 3 ships, at least 2 to 3 characters in from between September and December, and then maybe 2 more in January and February, and then they'll do the same thing as last year. They'll make 1 available, from throughout the entire Star Wars universe, monthly or bi-monthly. So we will definitely enjoy it. So, but yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, I would personally love to see when it comes to those because when it comes to SH figure arts and some of the Bandai stuff, I love the Death Trooper stuff. I know it's kind of dark back here, but you can see I have my fair share of Death Trooper stuff, and I just love what they've been able to do with the Rogue One stuff, specifically the Death Trooper. Cannot wait to see if we start seeing some of these other things start to show up, like a Praetorian Guard Bandai figure or something really cool to really get my palate wet when it comes to these figures.
I think you're right too because there's so much that they can make, and I'm really excited about it. But but yeah, so I think it's time to wrap things up. So what are your closing thoughts?
I think that fans really need to get out to Toys R Us, get out to wherever they are participating in Force Friday this year. You guys can head on over to brickcityblockade.com to find out specific locations and also where we're going to be doing coverage of Force Friday as well coming up on September 1st. You guys can follow everything on there. And I think it's also that time of the show. It's a little thing we like to call
Plug time.
plug time. That's right. Jared, where can the good people find you on social media?
All right, you can find me at at MAFEX Mando
When I said
BCB,
now, I
and
meant now.
I am
Jared, now. Like they're yelling now.
okay. Hold on. At MAFEX Mando BCB on Twitter, and you can follow me on Facebook at Jared Chilson. And yeah, I can't wait to see what's happening on Force Friday.
Very cool. You guys can follow me over on Twitter at Mr. Vote Tweets. Make sure to head on over to Instagram. Follow me at The Official Vote. Make sure to head on over to BrickCityBlockade.com for everything happening with Force Friday. Please make sure to head on over to iTunes, subscribe, rate, and comment for more epic Star Wars content. And as we always say here, may the Force be with you.
Always.